Lately, science fiction has a bit of a mood problem. Don't get me wrong, I love a sweeping space opera or a deeply depressing cyberpunk dystopia as much as the next cinephile. But somewhere along the line, Hollywood decided that for sci-fi to be mature, it had to be cynical. It had to be about the end of the world, human greed, or the terrifying existential dread of the cold, dead vacuum of space. And then there's Project Hail Mary. Directed by the visionary duo Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and anchored by a phenomenal performance from Ryan Gosling. If you've read the book, you already know Project Hail Mary just feels different. It feels perfect. Most movies drive their plots forward using conflict born from stupidity. A character makes a bad choice, hides a secret or panics, and the audience spends half the runtime yelling at the screen. Project Hail Mary rejects this entirely. It belongs to a glorious underrated subgenre known affectionately as competence porn. What is competence porn? It's the sheer narrative satisfaction of watching incredibly smart people be incredibly good at their jobs. Our protagonist, Ryland Grace, wakes up with total amnesia on a spaceship next to two dead crewmates. He doesn't even know his own name. But instead of panicking, his brain defaults to its factory settings, science. The narrative treats the laws of physics not as a barrier, but as the ultimate puzzle box. When a story respects the audience's intelligence enough to show its math, literally, every breakthrough feels earned. We aren't waiting for a magical sci-fi MacGuffin to save the day. We are watching a man use basic physics to survive. It turns science into high-stakes action, and it is utterly thrilling. But competence alone can get cold. What makes Project Hail Mary truly perfect is its heart. Specifically, a character named Rocky. Without spoiling the magnificent way they meet, Ryland Grace ends up crossing paths with an alien engineer from another star system, facing the exact same existential threat. In 90% of sci-fi, an alien encounter means horror or war. Here, it's a group project. Rocky doesn't speak English, he communicates in musical chords. He doesn't see light, he perceives the world through sonar. They are biologically, culturally, and physically opposites, yet their bond becomes the emotional anchor of the entire story. The brilliance of this dynamic on film is the subversion of language. Watching two vastly different species build a shared vocabulary using math, spreadsheets, and sheer mutual respect is a masterclass in screenwriting. It forces the film to rely on pure visual storytelling. Rocky is a triumph of character design because he isn't humanized by making him look human. He is humanized by his empathy, his humor, and his flaws. This brings us to the core of why Project Hail Mary feels so profoundly different. It is a story of radical optimism. The premise is terrifying. A spaceborne microbe is consuming the sun's energy, triggering an ice age that will end humanity in a matter of decades. It's a metaphor for climate change and global catastrophe. But whereas other films would focus on the breakdown of society, political infighting, and the worst aspects of human nature, this story chooses to look at what happens when humanity actually puts its collective mind together. It reminds us that survival is a team sport. It argues that the universe is vast, terrifying, and lethal, but that curiosity, kindness, and cooperation are the ultimate survival traits. When you leave the theater, you don't feel weighed down by the bleakness of the future. You feel inspired. You want to go build something. You want to look at the stars. A perfect movie doesn't mean a flawless one. It means a movie where every single element, the pacing, the tone, the character arcs, and the themes, perfectly align to achieve its goal. Project Hail Mary takes the high-stakes isolation of gravity, the hard science intellect of the Martian, and injects it with a profound emotional story of interstellar friendship. It feels different because it is different. It dares to believe that science can save us, that the unknown shouldn't be feared, and that out there, among the cold, unforgiving stars, we might just find a friend. But what do you think? Does Rocky have the potential to be one of the greatest sci-fi characters of the decade? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into cinematic perfection. See you next time.